What's up, people? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Can anybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? All right, so we got these to weld, pipe support bracket stands. That goes like that. Weld all that around. Weld this. And then after that, a nut gets welded on top of this, all three of those. Then this got to be welded like that. So we're going to start out with this, use the positioner. And let me just center this up, get my square ready for this one. So, can somebody give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear me? Please and thank you. In the comments. I got a cordless, or not cordless, got this mic. And hopefully it's like noise cancellation and it's overpowering the welder and everything over there. Yeah, just one thumbs up if you could hear me, please. All right, there we go though. So now I got to center this up on here. Show you, pretty easy, but it's a nut, so it's kind of octagon, hexagon, whatever shape it is. So you got to center it up. So we'll measure. This is about 2 7/8. And this is about 1.5. So 1.5, we'll just say 3 inches. So it's about 3/4. So I'm going to say, yeah, 3 inches and then 1.5. So what's the difference between that? That's 1.5 divided by 2 would be 3/4. So I'm going to say a little bigger or a little less than 3/4. So 3/4. Put a little mark like that. Take my square. Get that little measurement right there. I'll put a line like that. Then almost exactly parallel to that. and see if my center's pretty good with that, which is actually a little bigger than that, so 3/4 probably would have been good itself. Good. Hang on. A little bit more. That's pretty good right there. Then you center it up going this way too. So I like to put the nut going like that. Find my thing like this. And that'll get it really close, but after I weld this, the heat's probably gonna bake it off. I don't want to weld the nut onto that. I want to weld this first, then the nut, because I don't want to put too much heat into the nut, because sometimes it galls up the threads. But I think I'm ready to start. I got everything tacked except for that. We got to wait for 2 more for Gerald. He's machining those. So I guess I could start. I'll weld these first so these could cool down, hopefully. But let's use our positioner. Cordless welding positioner. I don't think I need full speed. I forget what my settings were for this. If I got a book that I write it down in for settings. I'm on the foot pedal, so that's probably fine. Using Everlast 325 EXT, 200 amps on the foot pedal. And see if I could put you on the tripod rocker. Actually, I'm going to pulse this. So while I'm at it, I'll show you my pulse setting. Number 4, make sure I'm on the right thing. I got to change something. I'm going to do pulse time on, I'm going to do it to like 44%, 33% pulse amps. Frequency, I'm going to do like 1.2 pulses a second. Downslope none, and amps 5, post flow 10 seconds, free flow 0.3, helps with the arc starts, start amps, and we're good to go. Let's go. Now I shouldn't need any wire because I'm just pulsing it, but I keep the wire in my hand just in case. I just rest my hand lightly on this and kind of center it up. There we go. I could probably slow down the positioner just a hair. Uh-oh. We got a gust of wind somewhere. See that? That's the only problem with these big cups. Yeah, a little fan like that just messed up my whole entire weld. I'm gonna switch my cup, I guess. The big cups, they're nice, but the littlest gust of wind really throws that gas off sometimes. So I don't know if that was the problem. I know it's definitely the wind though. Make sure you sharpen your tungsten after that. But yeah, there's a fan over there. It's not blowing at me, but it probably got a little gust of wind. Kind of annoying. Alright, let's try this again. You see. Guess I'll bump the speed down while I'm at it. And I'll go over some of that weld. It's going really good too. Still going alright. Pretty good right now. Good speed. I feel a little wind. I think we're alright though. Yep, a little more. I'll just back off the amps a little. I'll feel it. Go a little bit past my weld. Taper off slowly. Hold that argon there. Good to go. That other one fit good. Yeah, a little loose is kind of better because sometimes,
Yeah.
like this, when I had them tight, it was, well, that's because I grinded it, but I could level it out a little bit more.
We got a 1/4-inch cutter, so go in only 1/2 inch depth to cut. So go in 400,000 down at about 13, 14 off center.
Okay.
And then move it over, go back the other way. Then I go down to 400 again, move it over, go back the other way. Then I go through, and then move it over. So,
Even 5/16 would work. If that.
5/16 would be really fine.
Yeah.
That 9/32 would be good. I could buy a 9/30. If I knew you were going to have 500,000
I know.
to do, I'd buy a cutter. That new 5/8 cutter.
Oh yeah, it's like $200.
Put it in. Finish the one that I had started the other day. Put another one complete. Put the third one in. Started it.
It grabbed.
I started it. Went on the last cut. Some cut. And I went, yeah.
Oh.
Totally destroyed it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. We gotta order another one?
I put a 1/2 inch one and finished that one and finished the last one. But,
See if
I think what happened was I moved in 300,000 cut.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't take the backlash out of the screw.
Oh. So pulled a little.
I started to pull it, then dug in like that. And it
That's fun, right? All right, sorry guys. Gerald finished one more of these for me. End milling. But here we go. Yeah, here we go. I got the machine set at like 200 amps for this pulsing, and I don't think I'm probably at like 150. Pulsing, you need a little bit more amperage too, because it's not putting as much heat in. So say if it took like 100 amps to usually weld this thing, take like 120 maybe. Depends on the settings that you do too. You could go a little hotter on the background and stuff, or the pulse time on, and you won't need as much. But then if you put a little, the less heat you put into it, the more amps it takes to pulse it, if that makes sense. But it comes in handy for stuff like this. Actually, I'm really not putting as much heat into it, which is good. But it's just easier to weld it. I don't usually pulse a whole lot of stuff, just like outside corner stuff like this. Like an outside corner or fusing something, then I'll pulse it. Came out a little better. See if I could show you guys. A little warm. Not the perfectest, but do you have a video on positioner? No, I don't. Well, I have a video on it, but not building it. I got somebody else that wants to see the video. I do have another, it's a gearbox. And I'll show you in a second. I'll show you while I'm talking to me. Hey, whoever, John, can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me pretty good, like if the noise cancellation's working? But I got that gearbox right down there, which I made this whole thing out of. There's a video on it, just describing it, but not the whole build. I bought the little this. I probably spent $50 on the whole cordless part, and then everything else was free. This was free at work. The metal was free and stuff, but the little digital readout and the battery thing, that was kind of free, or that costed like $50. All right, now this one's a little thinner. This washer, the top pieces were actually round bar that I drilled a hole in to make these little top pieces onto the pipe. So this one I cut a little thinner. The other ones are like 1/4 inch. This is like 1/8 inch. So just got to be a little carefuler on this. I don't want to, try not to melt it too much and melt those top corner off. So I don't have to grind it. So it's not like super sharp. And then this stuff was actually oversized. So the pipe's like 2 7/8 and the round bar's 2 15/16. So it's like a 16th oversized. So it sticks out a little. So right now, that little spot like right there, I had to go a little bit more heat on. All right there. Yeah, I was gonna make a video. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I plugged this mic in. I wish I knew. That one came out actually pretty good. That's 3 done right there. Now I can weld these. Might take a little more heat for this. I got 2 holes right here for the chuck that goes on there. So I could kind of center it up like that a little. Now I just got to center it up like that. Pretty close, doesn't have to be perfect. Give you a different view over here, I guess. All right, so I am probably going to put some wire in this, and I don't know if I'm going to pulse it or not. I don't remember what I did last time. I have a video on these I made to see pretty much the same exact step, just welding it all. I did that like last week or earlier this week. So really, if you've seen that, it's almost the same thing as this. All right, right now we're doing the lay wire. And now I'm full pedal at 200 amps, which I can probably use another 20 amps right now, or 10. And that wire, I'm using a 16th wire, which I think 3/32 would be a little better. The only problem with positioners like this is if your settings aren't perfect, you're fighting to keep up with it. Like right now I'm not hot enough and it's going a little fast, so I might have to stop and reposition it. I'm kind of fighting to keep up with it. I should have slowed it down a hair. Yeah, it's taken almost 2 pulses now to weld that. Now these are just pipe support stands, so they don't have to be super perfect or like critical welds or anything. But that's that. Now, what welding, like I said in the video the one time, these are going to warp up. So if you can clamp it down, it'll stop it from warping, but I'm going to put it on the press afterwards. So let me bump my settings. All right, we switched a couple of things. I just made it a little hotter, 220 amps. And for the first one, whatever it is, I think it's pulse time on. I brought it up to like 50 compared to like 40 something, like 44. And the pulse amps, I think I brought up from 33 to like 43 maybe. So it might be a little hot, but we'll see. And then being that I'm using 3/32 wire, it does take a little more amperage to weld this, so keep that in mind. So like, not just for this, but anything, say if you're welding something thin and you don't want to put that much heat into it, and you're actually using a bigger wire, sometimes if you bump down to a smaller wire, you can put less heat into it, if that makes sense. It's coming out pretty good. I could probably use another 10 amps on this. Speed's pretty good because I can motor along with this. I mean, the one positioners they're great and they're not great, if that makes sense too, because you can welding a round part like this, it makes it look so much nicer compared to stop and spin it without a positioner. You see like a lot of straight edges. It's a little harder to wrap it around. So you can see that. I definitely put more heat into this one. See the coloring, it's definitely, well, that's pretty good. Compared to this one, the weld's not as big. And look, you can actually see a difference between the warpage. It's a little harder to see how much that one curled up compared to this one. Not a whole lot difference, but it definitely did curl up a little bit more. All right, one more for this. And then we could start on something else. Either putting those nuts on or tacking the other stuff. Got a little gust of wind. Oh, I did screw up with something though. I kind of messed up. I didn't put the ground on the positioner. I left it on the table. Which is not the best right now because it is grounding through the whole gearbox and stuff. Man. Every once in a while I'll forget about that. But I don't like some people say it burns your ground out or something, or it could burn the gearbox up in your positioner. So that's not the best mistake. You know, I ground the bottom of this positioner, so it is kind of still grounded, but I ground the paint off of it. Still not best practice. That's one thing I gotta make better for this positioner, though. I'll show you in a second. Ground I have on here. Alright. So, you see that curl in it? Looking pretty good. That's done. All good? Thanks. Alright, we got our last one from Gerald, but here's my ground I kind of made like this. So I made a little bolt that goes here, and then I put the ground right there. Here's a brass nut that you could tighten, but the only problem is this plate doesn't sit perfect, so it does gap a little bit sometimes. But I have it ground like through this piece of metal, touches the thing. So it does technically ground, but like if I didn't hook the ground up, but still better practice to ground like that. Yeah, but here's the positioner, just a flange on top. It was a gearbox like this with a sprocket. I welded the sprocket to this, centered it up on here, and then that's pretty much it. But here's the bottom of it. Gearbox. I bought this little electric motor off Amazon. It was like 30 bucks. Then we had to machine a little shaft that went from that motor to here to that shaft. It's a gear reduction gearbox, which you could probably use different ones. You just got to switch your speed, figure that out. Bought this little adapter, 12 volt, or I think it's like a 12, 18 volt thing to hook up. It's like an RC car thing. And then this digital readout thing. And that's pretty much it. Put some sides on with the just sheet metal, stainless steel. And you could buy them for Milwaukee, whatever cordless thing you have. But now, see how hot these are, because I can weld the nuts on right now, if they're not too hot. And then we'll save that for last, which I might do that. So, yeah, usually with marker, let's see. Yeah, here's the marker. Sometimes it bakes on, like now it's stuck on there permanently. If you weld with it on, kind of, if you try wiping it off, sometimes it won't come off, which is fine. For this, it'll be covered up. But just something to know in the future. But actually, I could have did them all beforehand because that's still on there. So that's one done. Here's our second one. They're still a little warm. Put a line on, try making it parallel like this. And I'll just center this up. Gives you a little... I'll just put the line on where the other end is. And I'll try putting one parallel to that. And then one more time. Yeah, if you turn your square a little bit, sometimes it throws it off. Doesn't have to be like perfectly centered as long as it's an all thread that goes through the hole. Like this. So the nut will get welded on. The all thread goes down. Then there'll be another nut that locks it down, but you can move it up and down. The nut just stops it from moving, welding it on there. We made it before without the nut or whatever. Weld it on there, and they could just spin this up and down, but it moves too much on there, they said. So makes sense. All right, so guess I'll move you back over here. That's all right. Go like that. Here's our welding fixture table if you haven't seen it. Aluminum tabletop. Because we do a lot of stainless steel, it just helps a lot better, I guess. Let me get another wire. /16 wire. Take a little seat. Move my clamp over to here. Hopefully that's in the picture frame. Good enough for you guys. Adjust this clamp a little bit. And then these clamps are nice. We made these. This was just a big, long vice grip clamp, and we cut the one end off. And you could just get a 5/8 round bar, and that works if you got 5/8 table. But it's nice because you could go like this, clamp it, or you can, however long your clamp or your round bar is, you can lift it up high. So you could essentially get like a 2-foot clamp if you wanted. Have a little more flex in it, but kind of center this up a little. Really close right there. I'm going to call that good. Put a couple of tacks on that. So I don't weld the whole way around because it doesn't need all the heat. So I'm just going to put a weld there, opposite side, and just wrap this little corner right here and right there. But really turn that pulser off now because I don't think I need it anymore. So that's that. Let me turn that pulser off. Nice thing about this machine, I think a lot of machines have it, but 4 is my pulser setting. Just go back to number 1. That's 200 amps with that welder. That's my DC setup with the foot pedal. So I got like one for aluminum, one for, first one's aluminum. Number 2 is my AC foot pedal for aluminum. The first one's DC steel. Second one's aluminum. Third one is lift arc with the foot pedal, almost like a scratch start for when I weld pipe. I just, you got to tap the foot pedal with the Everlast. It doesn't have like a scratch start setting, which I kind of like using the foot pedal to start it sometimes because you don't get the arc marks. And then number 4 was the pulse. 5. I don't think I have a 5, and then like 9 is my stick welding setting. And just make sure that clears before I weld it, and it's not hitting on that bar. So I don't want to weld it and then have to drill, reposition that thing. The hole's a little oversized when I drilled it. Yeah, this was just, these washers, the top piece was just, sometimes we'll get them water jet cut out, but the guy was out of town. So I found a piece of round bar, drilled a hole in it, and just cut little slivers off. Kind of made my own washers. Good. Put on that. I think put on that. This one's the one with the lines baked off, so hopefully that's pretty good. This one I'm not sure of, so I'm just going to put 2 tacks on, which it looks pretty good. And then this is all 304 stainless steel. A lot of stuff we do 316 for this company, type 316, but the support stands, they don't need it because no water's going through it. They're just pipe support stands. This goes on the flange. And then a piece of, I'll show you at the end. Put 2 more tacks on this. Alright, one more. And I'll weld these guys up, and then I'll save the other ones for last, I guess. And also, I know whoever's a welder that's watching, but you don't need a welding positioner. I mean, we didn't have one for the longest time. I made that on some downtime. That was a project I've been wanting to make for a while because I know they're pricey. It does come in handy though. Probably saved a lot of time using that thing for some of the pipe that I do. But you don't need one. If you got a lot of round parts, yeah. But if you don't, I could still go without it. Like welding those parts, it probably did cut the time in half, honestly, welding that, so it could save a good bit of time, and it just looks better. So that's done. I'm going to use 3/32 wire, because the 1/16 isn't, I want to put a little more on there. So, here we go. All right, ready guys? See if I could get done no single oil change with them. And they still call me almost every month. They've been calling me almost every day for the last like 3 months. They stopped for a while. And they say, oh, we got I think it's a $10 or $15 oil change. Which, I do my oil myself, and it costs me $30 for the oil. Then you need 6 quarts, so 5 quarts is $30. And then I buy a oil stabilizer I put in there too for that extra quart. And I've just been doing that for years. It's just like, I think it helps protect the motor a little bit, a little extra thickness to it. So that's another like $15 plus the filters like $10, so that's 30, 45, 55 bucks plus tax, probably like 60 bucks. So that's at least 60 bucks. How can they do it for $15? I know they want to get you in the door. But even 20, plus to pay their mechanic or whoever to do it too. All right, here's how this came out. So that's that weld. I kind of just lay wired and weaved it a little for the nut, put that little thing. Even though I could probably just weld the whole thing, but that's a little more heat that goes into it. So sometimes if you put too much heat into the nut, especially stainless steel, it galls it up and you got to tap it. So I really don't want to. Let's see. One more. And then one other thing I was going to say, that's what I was really going to say with this was, before I welded this, I should have wire brushed that, because stainless steel, while it's still hot, it's best to wire brush it, because otherwise if you let it cool down, it's harder to get the coloring off of it. I hold the post flow on a little bit. Once I end that puddle, just hold that post flow. Here, watch this post. I'll show you. Some of you may know this already, but hold that post flow on the whole time. It actually stops the coloring. So, like, just those welds compared to that tack, it does protect it a little more. The argon, the air, the CO2 or whatever it is in the air turns it not as clean for the weld, for argon, or for TIG welding. So it's argon in this torque. The gas in here is argon, 100% argon. So that helps to shield the weld afterwards. Some metals, if you don't know, like aluminum, you don't need to shield it as much. It's still good too, but it doesn't turn it colors. Always good practice though to just hold that torch there, at least for a second or two, while it's still not hot, like puddling hot. All right, so that's that. I almost want to wire brush this before I, oh, see, this touched something. I don't know if it touched my shirt. Yeah, it might have touched, I don't know if it touched my shirt or my glove, but left a little something on there. I don't know, you guys probably don't want to see the wire brushing on it, so I'm just going to leave it. And then I'm going to fit these up. It's all right. So now for fit up, give me a second, I just need a break. It's getting too hot. It's like 90 something degrees in Florida right now. So, I'm sweating. I need like a 2-second break. But anybody got any questions or anything? If you guys can hear me, and not the thumbs up, but in the comments, can you say you can hear me, or just give it a thumbs up? I got this noise cancellation mic and I just want to know if it's working. I plugged it in while the video already started, so hopefully it's working. We got sound. Otherwise, that welder going and stuff, it's a little too hot. There's my water. This is been doing this for like the last couple years. Just a little pinch of Celtic sea salt. I know the salt helps hydrate you a little, and the baking soda gives you like a little I don't know, it makes your body more acidic or whatever, which I think is good. But definitely, salt helps. I do notice a big difference. Like on these hot days, it's almost like it's its own Gatorade. Oh, let's see. While we're taking this, gold shot up. Now it's going down to 40.59. It was 40.85. That's all right. I got my fan right here. That little fan, so it helps a little bit. Because that fan you can't put on you over there. If I put it on me with Tig Welding, that just blows all the gas away like you've seen in the beginning. Which is a bummer. Alright, here comes the fun part with this. Now these drilled machine, but I think they're still a little dirty. All this stuff I oak-sided beforehand, and so they're all clean of all the oils and stuff because I had to drill all the holes in it. So I don't want to oak-side it. It's just gonna. I don't feel like putting the gloves on and stuff. So I'm just gonna take a little. We're actually out of, this is lacquer thinner, which I really don't like to use, but we're out of acetone. If you're going to use brake cleaner, make sure it's non-chlorinated brake parts cleaner. Because if you weld it with the, if you weld it, the chlorinated brake cleaner is not good. If you weld it, after you use it, it turns into like phosgene gas or like a mustard gas. So you definitely don't want to breathe those fumes in. Any fumes really. I should be really wearing a respirator welding this stuff. It's too hot for a respirator. Those Papper systems, they're like $1,000. Fume extractor would be really good. Just having that fume extractor suck it all up. That'd be really nice. I know a lot of places use those. All right, ready for the next part? So we got to weld this onto this, and I already marked these out. So I centered it up, and then this is 1 inch flat round bar or all thread. So I've marked half inch, and I just drew a straight line up. And then, so help me center these up. So what I got to do is keep it square like that, and then also I got to keep it square like that. So you got to, I'm going to put some shims on like this, kind of shim it up, but also this flat bar does have a little curl in it. So going one way compared to the other might not work as much. So basically 1 inch divided by 1 inch minus a quarter would be 3/4, divided by 2 would be 3/8, I think. My calculations are correct. Okay, so 1 inch minus that would be 3/4, and then divided by 2 to flip it on this side, That should be 3/8, which that's pretty close like that. But being that the flat bar is not perfect, it's going to be the tiniest little bit off on one side. So I could go like a 30-second shim. We do have a 30-second, but I'm putting it with the curl going like this, and it's sitting nice and flat. Just make sure the all thread's sitting flat. So Fireball shims comes in really good handy. Really, really good handy. Better than trying to fish around a 3/8 shim. Some people say you don't need it, but they paid for themselves 20 times over. The amount of time it saves. Plus, I'm going to show you one more thing. The Fireball squares. I bought those. Bought them like when they first came out, the squares and the shims too. Brought them in here, and then finally we got some in here now. But they pay for themselves over and over. If you don't have a fixture table, the squares come in really, really good handy. They used to be cheaper, now they went up in price with everything. But we got these and these. Cast iron ones are actually, I kind of like them better than the aluminum ones because they're a lot stronger. But for field work, if you do a lot of field work, I would definitely think about the aluminum ones because they're a lot lighter. So, I'll put it on like this so you can see. I want to keep it centered, hold that square like that, and then I could shift this whole thing over to center it out, which that's good right there. Now I'll get another clamp that down. You don't need a fixture table, like I said, to do all this. I'm gonna move it over a hair so I can pick up that hole. Make sure we're up all the way. Squared. Scooch it over just a hair. Now if I was to do this without a fixture table, just a regular table, I just try clamping that down, bring it to the corner pretty much of the table, and then clamp it from there. But here's definitely where the fixture tables come in handy. If you got a lot of fabrication work to do, this table paid for itself already, and we kind of need another one or two at this point. Another big one would be handy, and then a small one. Yo, what you doing?
Grind it on the table.
No.
Holes.
Yeah.
When did they do that?
What?
Just got here one day that drilled a bunch of holes.
No, this been here. You haven't seen this?
I've never seen the table with holes in it. How long?
This 2 years at
Yeah,
least?
I haven't come in it much in the last couple years.
It's been here for a while.
And if I have come in here, it's been to work on my car right there. So.
No, we got a water jet cut, so it's all
Yeah.
perfectly 2 inches on center. Drilling them by hand, that'd take forever. Plus, they wouldn't be accurate.
No.
That's the biggest.
I assume you had to drill the hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we bought the plate, brought it to them, and they chopped it. Which,
Andy,
yeah. What you making today?
I'm helping an old man use his technology.
Okay.
Apparently he doesn't know how to get emails or message photos out of his text.
Okay.
Save them to the phone so he can then use
Uh-huh.
email to send those photos.
Oh. Oh, your dad? Okay.
Right when I got your phone.
All right. So I just want to double check, make sure nothing moved. I should do that before. But we're pretty good. So now I got 4 tacks on it. Now I'm going to tack the other side. Another thing we could really use is one of the welding passivation systems to clean all those welds up. That would paid for itself already too with all the stainless we do, cleaning all this stuff up. Just cleaning it all up. Plus it protects it more. And when I went to FabTech, they said a lot of those companies that purchase them, that do work for other people, you can actually sell. So say we're making this for a company, all this these pipe stands, you can charge them like an extra $5, just say, or $1 per weld or something to passivate it. So say, hey, you want to passivate it? We charge an extra $1 per weld or $5 a weld, whatever it is. Do the calculations, and that'll help pay for the machine right there. A lot of people would like it because stainless steel, it rusts over time. Even if, especially after you wire brush it, if you don't passivate it after, in like a year, you're going to get coloring on, rusting on that wire brushing. So, if you didn't know that, it helps, it passivates it really, really good. And I think those machines work a little better than like the Oaklake that we have, because it has the electro whatever in it. That's what the one guy, I was talking to one guy at FabTech, and he was actually really good, really knowledgeable with the stuff. That was his own system or whatever, but kind of should have asked him if he would have sponsored. Hey, if anybody's watching and they own one of those machines, if you want to sponsor it, can't hurt to try. Should probably reach out to them. They were like, I think like $2,000 at the time. Actually, I did a video, my FabTech video. I probably could have worked a deal with them. Walter, but I forget their name. Walter Surface Abrasives, or I think it's just Walter. But the one lady was demoing their unit, and they offered me they're like $3,500 at the time for their unit. And now it's probably even more money, but they offered me on that show unit $1,500 to just take it home right there. And I probably could have got it cheaper, but I did a video with them on that, and that was actually a big hit on one of my videos. I probably could have asked them if they would sponsor it. They probably would have. They're really good people. Should probably just reach out to more companies and see if they do sponsoring. Like Anchor Lute's a good one. Did a little bit of sponsor stuff for Vevor. I had a couple welders that companies reach out. Deca Power, they were pretty good. They're more budget machines though, so I don't really use them as much. I got a video coming out with that. I used it actually like a month ago. And it's a good machine. Like for the budget multi-process machine, it's actually pretty good. Here's a lot of my clamps. These are just regular, can't really, it's gonna, but there's regular vice grip clamps, some smaller ones, and I color orient them purple to match the table, just so no one hijacks them on me. C-clamps, and then here's fixture table with two of those, some fixture table clamps, like that. We got, probably need a couple more of them, a couple different longer ones, smaller ones, vice grips. Yeah. So, get you a little better angle over her. We can start welding these. I think they're all tacked up now. All right. One more quick break before I weld these. Give me 1 second. My battery died on my fan. My little fan. This helped a little bit. Pretty much done, guys. Get your little video welding these up there. So, let's see, what wires do I want? 3/32 for this one, 16th, a little small. So, we ready? Just gotta weld around here, and then wrap the corner. Oh, lay wire probably for this too. The all-thread, you gotta be careful when you're welding this stuff. It likes to, like, you can eat the threads with too much heat, if that makes sense a little. See, these shims, they've got magnets in them too, which is good, but I don't like to really heat up those magnets too much. I just tack. But a little wobbling like that. Definitely a little dirtier with, I feel a little bit of that oil in there. I smell that lacquer. I don't like the lacquer. Really need some acetone. I don't know if it's best to use lacquer. I don't know if it's safe to use. Acetone, I know it is, but a lot of aerospace shops use it. Kind of just lay wiring. Yeah, you see, you can tell it's a little dirtier. All that, there's still oil on the all-thread. Just the color of it compared to that. We got that. Now we gotta wrap this corner, which gotta hold this up somehow. So yeah, one other thing too, really fast. While I got this chair, but I bought these skateboard wheels on Amazon for like $15-ish. I think I got them a little cheaper on the Prime Day or whatever. But oh, that chair wheels around so. That's nice. Anybody that has a chair in your house, in your office, I recommend it. Especially in a shop like this, but sometimes it's a pain to wheel a regular chair around. Even like a mechanic, if you use like a creeper or something, or a chair, game changer. I should probably do a video on that one day. But here's that. See the color in the weld, it's a little different color. You could tell it's like a little darker. So that's the oil is in there. That's a little dirtier still. this was like an aerospace or something, you definitely, or a weld that's like super critical, you definitely want to clean that better. Because I'm sure that's porosity in the weld. Even though it's not popping or anything, it's just tell a little difference. It's always best practice to wrap your corners like that compared to if you could see that little hole right there. I didn't wrap it, so if you wrap it, it's going to make it stronger and it stops. I don't know if there's water or something that could get into it, but it definitely helps with that. Need one more wire and we all good to go. I don't know. I seen them. Yeah, like that. One more. I get a little different angle over here for that last one. I think this is the last one though. We're wrapping it up. I don't know. I'm gonna wire brush them and clean them, but I don't know if the video's kind of long. I don't know if that's a boring part. I don't think you really care about that. If you wanted to, I got on that I got a full YouTube video on these. Probably a lot shorter than this. Pretty much doing the same exact thing as this. I just figured I'd go live. Maybe reach a little bit more people or something. But it showed, I think, a time lapse just the cleaning part and the after results. I'll tell you how I'm going to clean it though in a second. So I'll try wire brushing them, put the round stuff. I'll tell you after, I guess. Put the round stuff on the lathe probably and wire brush it with that if I can. These I'm going to have to clamp down and just wire brush them with this fine. And then afterwards I'm probably going to oakite it to protect it a little bit more, give it a little passivation, a little extra. And that's pretty much it. Wrap that corner. Wrap that corner. Double check it. Always good to inspect your welds after, which I pretty much did most of them. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it a little bit. These are all good. So I guess I'll show you one thing though. Here, let me take my jacket off. It's a little hot right now. Who we got? Hi everybody. No video? Oh, what do you mean? Hey Thomas, what do you mean no video? That's not recording? Oh well. Hopefully it was recording. Okay, so wire brush. I'll show you what I got. Hey, what did Thomas mean by no video? Or no audio? Here's my little stainless steel wire brush on a cordless drill. Bought this for like 13 bucks. Sold at 40.55. Should have did a short on that. But always clean up your shims when you're done. It's really good to hose them off or with the air hose and clean them so you don't have any dirt on it. I notice it helps keep the rust off because hot Florida, it's a little humid. I keep these down here. The other box has our pins for the fixture table. Just the little pins, stopper pins. That's that with that. Put my square away. So while it's hot, it's definitely good to wire brush it if you can. I really should have stopped and did those because now they're probably cooled down. And these don't gotta be perfect. Just get these three and then I'll show you. I gotta press. These are pretty much cooled down. I gotta press this out after and I'll show you doing that. I should clamp this down. Should have a glove on because it is warm. We do have another drill with Sergio's. Hijacked that one. So I can't really, that's why I bought this one, just to have an extra one. I got more at home, but I don't want to bring my good drill in and ruin the thing. Yeah, see how much nicer this one comes out since I clamped it? Not fighting it as much. That's two. Last one of that. And this is stainless steel wire brush right here. This is from Amazon. You could get like a variety pack for like 10, 20 bucks or something. You could get like 5, 10 of them or something. They got a big assortment. But I noticed, yeah, with stainless steel, anytime you wire brush stainless steel, you want to use a stainless steel wire brush. And if you can, clean it beforehand, like with some passivation stuff or some acetone or something, just because after a while sitting with all the stuff on it does, like, other stuff gets on it and it dirties it up and it could rust your part out even more. If that makes sense. Or I don't know. But every like couple months, like once a month or something, I'll dip our wire brushes in the oak ice to passivate it, just to freshen it up. But if you think about it, if you're using this on steel, or steel dust got on here or something, and it sat for a little bit, then you got to wire brush stainless steel. You got steel scratches in there, which is going to rust over time. So that's it for those. Not the prettiest welds. The all thread sometimes a little harder to weld because you've got those threads melting. That so I was kind of motoring along pretty fast with them. I didn't really care too much about the welds. So now these I usually put in the lathe, which I might do. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll bring it to, I guess, the lathe, and we'll get that going. Actually, before that, I'll show you how I do this. So here's our press. Get a little straight edge too. Even though these are going to be bolted down to the concrete, so technically it will, once they bolt them down and anchor them down, they are going to suck down a little bit, but if you don't have a press, it's not that big of a deal. What you could do too is, if you don't have a press, is shim this up on like a table, and then like shim it up a little bit and give it a good whop with a hammer, and that will help if you need it to. It's a big poppy. I don't know what is it. Probably like 100-ton press or something. I think it's homemade. They made it years ago. Big blocks. Kind of center. Leave a little gap in it. Oh, that went far. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just bring this down. Here's our little lever for that. Center it up. I'll show you right now. It's got a good little curve in it. So, kind of center it up. Just go a little bit. Does flex back a little. And that's pretty good right there. Not really any rough. Maybe a hair too much. That's pretty good. 2 more. Center it up. Sometimes I go a little too much. Like I go light and then still needs a little more, then I'll do it again. Then on that third one, you always hit that lever too much. A little more. See? Now watch, this last one's gonna be yep. It's not bad. A hair, but then same thing when you bolt it down. You can always, if you go too much with this, you can press it this way, just move the thing over. But you do got to be careful sometimes because you can do too much. That was that first one. It didn't take much to press that one out. Put this back. Always good to put your tools back and clean up your stuff when you're done. Don't just leave it all a mess like that. So, hang on. Pretty much it, guys. So this, I'm just gonna wire brush them. I'm not gonna make you guys watch that. This video is, unless you want to watch. Let me know if you want to watch right now, me wire brushing it, and I'll show you how I do it. But that goes like that. Pipe support stand. Then a piece of pipe they cut whatever size they want, so they can reuse them. And then the thread goes on like that, or the old thread goes on like that, or the nut goes on the old thread. Then this goes on like that. Nut locks it down whatever height you want it at, so then it won't turn anymore. Plus this gets bolted into a, so I go like that. And I'll show you outside the finished ones that we actually have done. Made a couple more last week or earlier this week. But here's how they go. These ones are just all cleaned up, and we don't have a flange out here anymore, but let's see if we got one inside. So here's a flange. Fits on, this is for 6-inch flange, which we don't have the other ones out there, but 4-inch, 8-inch, and this one's for 6. But essentially go like that, help hold your pipe up. So if you got a big run of pipe going however long, you can hold this up and just help support it. So you get the idea, right? Yeah, these ones I wire brushed and I oak-lighted them after, so they'll be extra protected, just so they look good. Keeps the customers happy. I guess I'll show you guys. All right. One more second. Get your safety glasses, because you're going on the lathe. Then unscrew this bad boy. Grab all three of these. Bring them over her. Boy, Gerald's not using this lady. We can sneak in a little bit and get this done. Scooch this out of my way. Put two over here so they're not in my way. I don't really like to wear gloves on the lathe, but these are a little warm still. I don't have the jaws on here right now, but or the bolted on. But that's good. I'm going to get another wire brush. Hang on. Hot. No sitting down on the job. This a new brush? Alright, here we go. Hey, whoever's Dwayne Herbert, if I said it right, can you hear me pretty good? Can you say I can hear you? Or something in the comments if you can hear me, please and thank you. But here's our stainless steel. All we're doing is just wire brushing them now. Just wire brushing the welds off. And we're pretty much done with that. And if you guys tuned in a little late, there's a full video pretty much doing the same thing on my YouTube. So just if you want to watch it. See how fast we're going. Make sure everything's clear out of the way. Yeah, I could turn this down a little bit. I want to go a little slower. I ended up getting the other drill. Sergio wasn't using it. You gotta watch the jaws. I think I should be going the other way. Just the way the wire brush is. We can hear you. Perfect. Thank you guys. Thank you. This is probably the boring part. I mean, the video's almost over, so just warning you guys, if you don't want to watch it, you feel free to tune out. This is just easier than doing it by hand on the table. Just doing this, and then we'll passivate it after. I guess I'll show you guys everything. But clean the weld. Not the prettiest. That was on the positioner. One more. Clean it up. Now we want to go reverse. It's a lot harder to get this coloring off now that the part's already pulled down pretty much. If I would have done this from the beginning, it probably would have been a little easier to get it off. Late's probably going a little fast too. I could probably slow it down and it would be a little better. But making it work. Let's see, 2 down, 1 to go of these. It almost would have been better welding that whole thing, but I don't think. Just too much heat into the nut. It's not needed, it's plenty strong. I think it just looks better. Wonder if that works better. Probably not the safest thing to do on a lathe like that, but a lot quicker. Alright, be back in 1 second. We got all 3 of these done. I'll be right back with the other ones. Here's the first one. That was with the 1/16 wire. And it didn't go as hot. Then I'm guessing, I don't know which one was second or third, but bumped it up to 3/32 wire, messed with the pulse settings a little bit. And that came out a little better. And this might have been the last one. I might have bumped it up a little hotter. But definitely when you put more heat into it, it definitely curled up a little bit more. So, something to think about. Now here's where you got to be careful. You don't let the jaws hit you. And this is why I'm wearing gloves, just to protect my fingers a little bit more. I can't use this. I mean, I guess I could get as much as I can with the wire brush right now. Save me a little time. Now I want to go that way, right? Or no, I want to come to me this time. Just watch your fingers for those jaws. I'm kind of holding it right out here. It's not giving me as much pressure, but I want to be safe with it. And watch your fingers from that. We got some longer, bigger brushes, but they're the little coarser. It's not wire brushing as good like this. This I don't need the wire brush. It's just going to be good, but I think that came out pretty good. One more, 2 more. I'm going to do this first. what would probably really work good is this is like a 3-inch wheel, like a 6 or 8-inch. I've seen some video of some guy using one on Facebook or Instagram one time, and actually looked pretty cool because like stuff like that, it would make getting around it a lot easier. I think I tried finding them on. It might be on Amazon. Probably definitely McMaster Florida. Yeah, if you had that machine, the passivation machine, you could just clean them all up. A little more time saving. And it protects it like 10 times better. All right. I think we got that one halfway decent. There's still a little coloring, but that should clean up with. Want to clean it a little more. This is a new brush. I think Sergio gets these ones. He bought this from mine. I got from Amazon. These I think he got from Walmart actually. Just make sure they're stainless steel. That's the thing. Like I don't see stainless steel on this. This green works. Might be from Lowe's. Fell down. Watch your fingers. It's easy to get whacked by one of those things with your knuckles. You do it at your own risk. I think we're done. Yeah. Bump the speed back to 2 for Gerald. Yep. All right. We're pretty good. Come back for this stuff. I guess I'll show you guys the last little bit if you want to watch, just clean it up so we got the whole process. All right. Well, actually, the last little bit would be cleaning up. But hang on. Give me 1 second. Man, I'd like to be in a short right now, but I don't got time to watch this. 40:53. So let's just come back in a second. Let's see. So I'll show you the reason why I'm cleaning them too. When I pressed it out, you do got a couple little, not really, but little marks on there. So I just want to, they're probably fine like this. They probably won't get much, what you call it, much rusting on it. But just in case from that wire brush and whatever, I'm just going to passivate them. So bring them outside, grab the others, and I'll show you how I'm doing. 3, 5, 6. So I got all those, and let me show you how I'm going to clean them. So got this bucket right here. This is our Oaklite 33 welding passivation stuff. Filled up with water and Scotch-Brite I used to as like a sponge. But here it is right here. Here's the newer bottle, but this is it. That's it, Oaklite 33, and it's just one they've been using for a while. And that big tub, they're expensive, I believe. I don't know what the going price is on that right now, but it used to be like $250-ish, give or take. So it might be more money now. That's like a 5-gallon jug, and they last, but it lasts forever. Not forever, but probably last us at least a year or two. And we do a lot of stainless steel work. So if you could buy it in a gallon, it's definitely worth it to have. It definitely helps clean and passivate your parts. Not as good as the passivation units, but for like bigger stuff, definitely. So put some gloves on because that's acid. And what you do is, with that, I don't know the right mixture, but I mix like one little bit of water, like fill up the 5-gallon bucket, just like that much with the Oaklite, then fill it up. You can fill it up all the way or halfway or something. It gets a little foamy. And I put a Scotch-Brite pad, red Scotch-Brite pad in it. I'll show you. You can see, turn the hose on. Now this stuff, I think it's good to hose down, wet your parts first. So I like to wet it a little bit and then use that. But with this, we got this aluminum cleaner. Used to get this stuff at Walmart, but aluminum cleaner. This stuff you don't want to, that's like a water-based stuff, so you don't want to wet your part down first. How can I get you a good aerial view? Yeah, this stuff you can wet it down, so just take a Scotch-Brite pad and have a way at it. You don't got to get it super perfect, just a little scuff on it. I already did these before, but really just got to, because all this stainless was a little dirty from sitting on the rack. So just really go over the welds and where I wire brushed it. Just a little, I feel like a little scuff, like digs into the metal a little bit, then gets that Oaklite in there and just cleans it up a little. Gets a little deeper scratches from whatever scratches I had in there. I don't know, that's like, that was from my shirt or my glove, that little spot, but it's not kind of baked on there. I'll get it off later. Might have to do that with like a knife or something. And this stuff you don't want to let the sun dry it, so do a little bit at a time. If the sun's kind of out right now, it's a little cloudier. So if the sun bakes it on, it kind of not as good for it. Just like washing a car. I think I could get all these. Dip it a little bit, and you don't have to use a Scotch-Brite. Use whatever you want. Scotch-Brite works pretty good, especially for like stainless steel sheets that have a grain in it. It kind of helps re-put the grain in. I don't know. But you do got to be careful if you have stainless steel sheet that's not grained and you don't want any grain in it or polished. You definitely don't want to use the Scotch-Brite pad. But it's good to passivate it. That's where one of those machines would probably work, or maybe like a sponge or something. I don't know. One more of these. And then when you rinse them off, you want to rinse it off pretty good. but not just rinse it. I lift the part up and I'll show you. Anybody got any questions? Again, there's another video on this. It's not as long as this one is. This one's probably 30 minutes. A lot of it was time lapsed and stuff. So do that. Clean that up a little. And it's starting to dry a little on some of them. But we'll make it. These are for 4-inch pipe, these ones. I made 3 more the other day. They were, one was 6-inch and 2 were 8-inch. And then Sergio, he's working on some pipes over there, welding some elbows up. Which I think I have videos on that too. Got a bunch of videos. If you care to watch. Not the best, not the worst welder, fitter, whatever, but hop back on the bucket. Rinse them off. I don't like to just rinse them. Sometimes it's still on there. So what I'll do is individually just go over it. And that just gives it that extra layer of protection. Keeps it from rusting a lot longer. And just protect it a little bit. Here's a challenge for you guys, metal fabricator guys. Take like a wire brush, a little piece of stainless steel, like a clean piece or whatever, and a wire brush, like a carbon steel one. I think I still got a piece I'll show you after. Carbon steel one, a stainless steel one, and take like a piece of metal and put some scratches in it, and let that sit outside or something for a couple months. You'll notice carbon steel one rusts super fast. Stainless steel one not as much, but it does over time. And then scratching it too a little bit. I got a test piece that I did. I'll show you in a second. So these are all done. I'm gonna flip that down like that, and I put a little hole in there too. See how the water gets in there? So if I would left out like that and I concreted in, when it rains, it just fills it up with water. All that nasty water sits in. So just a little drain hole. They didn't specify it, but I just do it for a little extra courtesy for them, pretty much. But that's it. Came out pretty good. What do you guys think? So I got some of the coloring off the back when I washed it, but it doesn't get all of it, like the inside as much. Here, see like that? That was sitting on the rack over there. Just over time, all the stainless, it does start to rust. So that's that. Yeah. I don't know if I showed you. Came out pretty decent, but you could see it's not super accurate and consistent. So if you don't have your settings perfectly set on that positioner, it doesn't. You get little inconsistencies like that. Here's a little trick taking the gloves off you. Blow a little bit of air in. Sometimes I try to reuse these. After like 1 or 2 tries, they start to rip. These ones. Black ones, the little thicker ones, last a little longer. All right, so shut the welder off. Show you another thing, not just wrap some stuff up and give you a little call. Ooh, what are we at? 53 we're at, so we'd still be down. Gold's a little volatile today. Here it is, somewhere up here. Here's this piece of metal I did when I first got those Amazon Where are they? When I first got these on Amazon, I wasn't sure how good the quality was. So I did a little test sample. I took this one in the sandblaster, just sandblasted it, and that was 2023. It's actually working pretty good because Gerald does do a lot of carbon steel in his sandblaster, so I wasn't sure on that. This, I think I wire brushed maybe with this. I'm not sure. I don't have that written down. Or I might have did that with Sergio's. These ones. And over time, that was probably like a year ago. See how you get a little rusting on it? And then this was his too. That was 2025, so you do get a little rusting. This was carbon steel wire wheel, like a bench grinder wire wheel. And then this was just scratching it. And then this might have been mine. Yeah, this is stainless steel wire wheel that I bought. This is the one that he bought. So you do tell a little difference in quality. Because I think mine are marked stainless steel and his aren't. That might not be either. Anyway, that's not bad, because even with a stainless steel wire brush like this, you still get stuff like that, so that's really not bad. That's why you passivate it after. So yeah, it's just a little test piece, but if you're curious on your wire brushes and stuff, do a little sample like that and be surprised. Like, you wouldn't think stainless steel would scratch your metal like that, but and carbon steel, whew. Okay, we got this, I'll show you what I used. Carbon steel wire brush on a bench grinder. It gets used for carbon steel a lot and just like taking rust off of stuff. But that, doing on here, and it was actually bright and shiny like that after I did it, and after a while, that's a couple years sitting. But after a couple months, it started getting pretty rusty. So, food for thought. I guess I'll just, I gotta clean up, but if you guys care to stick around while I clean up, I'll do a little talking. If you got any questions, let me know. But this is always my tradition. Whenever I'm done with a project I just finished, so I clean up everything, and that way I have a nice fresh table at the end of the day. So I clean up whatever I'm working on. This is Sergio's, get that back to him. All done? Ah. Oh, it's only 12 o'clock? What time is it? Lunchtime. The clock's wrong on the thing. So wrap this torch up. Put my gloves away. Then I do my foot pedal next. Really need a wireless one. Wireless foot pedal would be a game changer. Wrap that up, then I got my ground. Make sure I shut that off, shut my gas off. Now, let's see, clean up my other stuff, put this stuff away. Yeah, I always just put it away now. Nick chopped my tape measure to one day, so don't leave it out. Oh, good ones. This way, the Fupa Cup before, I don't know why, just all this, like that breeze from that kind of swoops it away. I remember hearing that a while back though, like the big cups, you got to be careful because the little bit of gust of wind um, can cause like turbulence and blow the gas away. Weird. These must be two different brands. That's something. Yeah. Huh. Imagine. Eesh. Imagine one's 5/8 and I welded a 5/8 on there. Ooh, that's not good. No, I checked them all with that threaded rod with the all threads, so that's weird. I got two like this. This is definitely. Let me double check that actually. It's kind of scaring me now. I know we just had to order more nuts for these, so wonder if hopefully they're just a different brand. Yeah, that works. What the? That's a different size. That's not good. That must be 7/8. I don't know why it's over there. So we got that. All right, well we got to make sure this fits on here, which I already checked these before, but yeah, that fits. I don't know why that 7/8 nut was over there, unless they gave us one by accident. Yeah. Yeah, I would have caught that before, because when I was, after I tacked those on, I put them in, if you've seen, to make sure they fit through the hole and they were centered up in the hole. No, I dirtied it. Microsoft went down 3 points. All right, so we're good on that. That's weird though. They must have gave that to us. That's really. No, we just ordered. We were like a couple nuts short, so. So this is our extra. They gave us either. I gotta talk to them about that. They either gave us the wrong one or somebody brought that over there. Hang that up. Done with my fan. See the. I love this cordless fan. I got something. There's like a screw stuck in there, and I can't figure out how to get that plastic fan off. I don't know if I could take this off the cover, but the fan itself, I don't know if I need a puller to get that off. But it feels like it's gonna break, but a screw or something came out of there, and you hear it. Hang on. You hear it tossing around in there. And it's kind of annoying. All right, so let me take this off of here. Tripod. Good thing we didn't short it, but I would have been paying attention to that because we'd be down like $50. All right, so there's that. The stainless steel 316 wires. I don't know why, but I keep them. The stubs. I don't know why, but I got a whole box full of them. Maybe we could cash it in one day for something. This is done. That's my acetone with lacquer right now. I usually put acetone in it. We're out of that. Clean up my wire over here. Clean up my helmet. Want to see something weird? Your phone flickers. See it flickering? That's my phone sensor. So even when my phone's not recording, the facial recognition from like the camera, from like pointing it at me, like you're looking at your phone, facial recognition takes a picture every couple of seconds like that. So even when you're not asking it to use it, it's still using it. So I don't know what you think of that. They probably got like every little bit of facial recognition for me that they can. Like if I have my safety glasses on, like a respirator mask, it still will unlock my phone when I got like a helmet, welding helmet on, respirator, safety glasses. It's still, I guess it senses my eyes or something, but it's crazy how smart it is, and it's scary at the same time. Make sure you got your gas off. That's all cleaned up. I think I already did this, but just I always dust it off when I'm done. If I did any drill pressing or anything, I clean it up over there, which I did yesterday. I cleaned it up pretty good, swept it all up. And then last but not least, I take the leaf blower and cordless leaf blower, best invention for a shop. And give it a little cleaning. Just like that, all done. That's not the best one. I got that leaf blower for free actually, but I had to buy this adapter. During the storm we had, somebody threw it away. I guess they thought it was flooded, or it was flooded. But it still worked. I just had to buy this adapter from going from Craftsman to Milwaukee. That was like, I think I paid like 15, 20 bucks for the thing, but got a Milwaukee one at home, which is more powerful, but for free for the shop. I ain't spending that much money. Yeah, but that's game changer. All cleaned up. Let these guys dry out. Yeah, Sergio welded these up today. Fit them up, so he did a pretty good job with them actually. Really nice job. Yeah, his table he don't clean as much, but that's his table. He could do what he wants with it. That's just an OCD thing for me. I don't know. I can't work as efficient. Let these dry a little bit more, but they're done. You guys seen what they'll look like. Here's like the weld. I don't know if you need to see anything else, but we're pretty much wrapping it up, guys. But there's another video on this if you want to watch it. Check out my other videos. More fabrication-ish stuff. Not as much welding, like up close welding. But here's the pipe support stands. They'll look just like that. There's the nut that locks it down, and that's pretty much it. Go tell Morgan that they're done, and that's it for the project. I might eat something really fast, and yeah, check out the videos. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. If there's other videos you want to see, let me know. If they're too long, too short, whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I guess we'll see you on the next one. I was going to put another video out today, but I didn't get the chance to finish it. It's like a 13-minute video. I think it was just cutting those parts out and drilling them. I filmed it for Instagram, but it ended up being like 13 minutes, and I was going to speed it up a little, and it was cutting like how I made that little circle like that, went off the drawing, just drilling those holes, and I think that was pretty much it. So if you want to watch that, I might put that out today for another extra video, but I did this, I don't know. And hopefully Monday we'll have a new video, which I'm not sure what it'll be yet. It might be using this Deca power welder to weld stuff. I got like 50 videos that I filmed that I still never edited yet. And I got that. I did this dumpster. That's another one I could put out. And I got like a couple that I did recently, last couple weeks. This had a big holes in the bottom. I just patched it up. So I got that I could put out. And one more, forget what the other one was. There's like 3 or 4 that I did recently that I could put out. Probably put out before something else. I still got a lot of other stuff. I still got this. This is the biggest video I want to put out, making this table, which a lot of people probably do really well. But the video is like 10 hours long. And because I filmed the whole thing and I figured, oh, I'll edit it all, but I should have time lapsed a lot of it. So I just put it on the back burner. I tried doing a little bit every time here and there, but I put it off more and more. So get that out hopefully. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys like this, I might do it more. I mean, it didn't take me any time, just doing my stuff. And here and there, I'll talk to the camera or whatever, reposition it. But yeah, thanks guys. I'm signing out right now, but thank you guys. See you on the next one. Chris Winarski, over and out. How do I end this?